Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Let's play a game, Jay. I'm going to say something completely out of context. And if you know, you know. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
James Kowalik. If you know, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're an asshole, but that's true. So you gotta, you know what? Never mind.
No context.
Zero context. I shouldn't have even been addressed. I shouldn't have said anything. All right. So here, I'll give, before we get into it, I don't remember this person's full name. I just remember the first two letters of their YouTube name, which was TS. So you know how like people do things or like they comment and they do shitty things online because everybody's a fucking tough guy, right? Yeah. And they think they know you because they've listened to you talk about a Marvel movie for a couple of years. They don't know you at all. They don't realize what type of psycho you really could be in real life. And so this person writes a comment and I'd venture to say they're not bright. And I will point out the reasons why I believe this, but, they said that I have become like, they've been listening for a long time. I don't know how long that is. Years, months, weeks, who knows? But I've just become, worse and worse. And they can't stand me. Yet they still listen, which I think is weird because I'm the host of the show. It seems like an odd.
I mean, I think choice. That is a testament to the strength of your co-host.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were eating a lot of your dick, so that was cool. Congratulations for that. But what I found funny, they were like, yeah, Jay's too dumb to understand Fast and Furious based on, that whole conversation, right? Which I found funny, right? I found funny. Like I wasn't offended by that. But what I find even more hilarious is that this person thinks that you're serious and they don't understand basic jokes and sarcasm between friends who've known each other for almost 30 years.
Yeah, over a quarter century.
Right. Like, so I might be dumb because I thought that one character was driving a different car in a movie, but you don't understand basic sarcasm that is a normal human trait, you fucking moron. So to TS, whatever the fuck your name is, by the way, your comment got deleted not by me. I don't give a shit. You can write whatever you want. It got deleted, you moron, because of your language on YouTube. I get a message saying, here's what this person wrote, and they immediately delete your message. I can't allow it to be posted or anything. So again, you're too stupid to realize that. You're also too stupid to understand what sarcasm is from my friend joking around that I didn't get a stupid thing in a movie. Who gives a shit? 3, he said that I quote, had a punchable face, which I find to be funny because I would think my voice would be way more annoying than my face.
Yeah, look, I agree with TS.
I mean,
for
right.
the most part.
I mean, this guy's not wrong.
I agree with TS for the most part, but I don't believe you have a punchable face. You have a punchable throat.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That like, I'm not offended by that. Like that, I mean, come on. The fact that Annie and I have a podcast together is the most insane thing, right? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? Right? There's no dulcet tones. So yeah, I found that to be funny. And I don't like to say like, oh, let me go on this scree and then do that weird thing that people do on the internet and go, this didn't bother me. No, it bothered me. I was like, okay, well, fuck that guy. Right? Like, but at the same time, I just find it amusing that you didn't understand what sarcasm is, which again is a basic level of humor. Even children after a certain age, toddlers get it, but you couldn't. So that's cool. I may have a punchable face, but at least I'm not an idiot.
Now here's the thing, right? Like,
also, you don't know me, dude. You really don't fucking know me. Don't think because of YouTube, I'll fuck you up. How about that?
He once almost fought a dude in the parking lot of our high school.
No, yo, like
mom off in traffic.
No, yo, I'm not like
Hugh Ben.
I'm not a fan of that guy to this day. No, I like the funny thing is I'm a way nicer guy than I've ever been in my entire life. Don't let this Marvel shit fool you. Like, I'll flip out. Like, yo, don't do that. So, look, I mean, this guy's got a lot of shit to say, but yet he watches every week. You can't hate watch us. Either you want to watch it or you don't. It's fine. Or hate listen.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you're not understanding. See.
Well, I understand sarcasm, so please tell me a basic thing I don't understand.
He's proving your point that you're too dumb to understand the Fast and Furious movies. You're also too dumb to understand that he is using double reverse sarcasm.
Oh, right. You know what?
This guy.
This fucking guy. This guy. I can't see him. Yeah. So look, man, you can write whatever you want. It's fine. Make sure you try not to use naughty language, and YouTube won't, delete your messages. But I don't really give a shit. In the words of the great Katharine Hepburn, say nothing, just go. I don't give a fuck about you, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Look, if you like me and you say you like me, you can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, go eat Micah's dick on Dense Pixels. I'm not on that show. You can listen to Micah and his dulcet tones and jerk off to him about video games. You don't have to hear my voice, buddy. You catch it every week. You and their 7 listeners, you all can sit and talk about it. See, by the way, this is how you handle trolls or people who say mean things. I don't care if you listen, dude. I don't care if you hate my guts. I really don't give a shit. I don't care. It's fine. It's okay. But I'm gonna give you the fucking business. Like I am. I'm just gonna give you the business. It's fine. All right. From there, let's get into Checked Out. I enjoyed that. You watched A Quiet Place Part 2. I've never seen the first one or the second one. So everyone really likes the first one, seemingly.
Here's the thing about this franchise. It's a very entertaining franchise, right? If you don't think about it. Like this is a dumb movie that has done a very good job into fooling people into thinking that it's smart.
Okay. This is a John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Like I think he directed the first one, at least I know that.
He directed the second one. I think he directed the first one. I'll check, but these movies are like dad movies, especially the first one. The first one is just
he directed the first one as well.
The first one is a straight up dad movie, right? Like you're the stalwart husband who has a wife, and there is this force in these aliens that you cannot protect your children from or your family. But you try, but you're going to.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, because that's what dads do.
That's
right?
You goddamn right.
Very much a dad movie, right. And it is solid in sound design and tension building. As long as you don't think about it.
Sure.
So
that's fine.
The premise of these movies is that somehow, somewhere, these monsters are here, and they are blind, but they are hypersensitive to sound. They can hear a whisper from a mile away, right?
Okay.
So the world is trying to adapt and to not speak, right? And at the end of the first one, spoiler alert for the first one. At the end of the first one, John Krasinski has a deaf child who is a young female actor who I believe is deaf in real life.
Okay.
And he is trying to figure out how he figures out their weakness. John Krasinski alone has figured out a weakness. And
is he just like a dad? Is he like a scientist?
Dad, right? Because he's a dad, right? And he was trying to develop a hearing aid for his daughter. And it turns out that the frequency
as a dad? Like
as a dad.
Is he an ear doctor?
I don't know what his job is. I don't know, because you are thrust into this world, right? I don't know what his job is. I don't know what anybody does, right? But as a dad, he creates a hearing aid to help his daughter.
All right.
And it turns out that a certain frequency that is only generated with this one hearing aid is so special that it can damage it can stun the enemies and reveal their weak point, and then you can shoot them and then you can kill them, right? That's what happens in the first movie. The second movie picks up not too far. Also, in the first movie, like you have his Emily Blunt is pregnant, right? But
doesn't she give birth silently?
She gives birth like without screaming. Come on,
that's okay, guys.
Relax. The second you start thinking about this movie, it just falls apart, right?
Yeah,
so if you don't think about it, you'll have a good time. The second one takes place not long after the first one. We see a quick flashback of first contact for the Abbott family.
Okay.
And it's in the trailers for A Quiet Place Part 2. It's really good. Okay. Right? Like, if the movie was more of that, like, it would be pretty damn fun. Yeah, the movie's fun, but this would be awesome. It would be awesome, right? Then we see this world. We flash forward to present day, which is not, she still has the little baby, right? She gave birth, and it's still a baby. And the movie kind of turns into Bird Box a bit.
I didn't see that either. That didn't look interesting to me.
Bird Box is not as good as A Quiet Place. But
that's the one where they can't look.
They can't see.
Right. Like, if they look at each other, like they their heads explode or die or whatever.
Yeah, if they just look at anything, like the monster or whatever will get them. And thankfully they don't show the monster in Bird Box. But in this movie, it starts not too long after the first movie. And they are the family who is Emily Blunt, the infant, the daughter who is hearing impaired, and the moron son, right? And this is very much a vehicle.
There's always
to
a
say that son. This is very much a vehicle for, like, the daughter who is disabled is one of the heroes in this thing, right? She's got the MacGuffin that can right. destroy these things, and it's commenting on, like, sometimes our perceived weaknesses are actually our strengths. Right.
That's a fair point. I like that.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot. They are going on, they're walking along, they meet up with an old family friend, and throughout the movie, you find out that there is a safe haven somewhere, but it's dangerous to get there. The headstrong daughter is like, hold on. Then they find out about this because of a radio broadcast. And the daughter's like, well, if
a radio broadcast? A radio broadcast? Okay. All right.
Again, don't think about it.
Like, how loud is it?
Again, don't think about it. Okay. Right? So
I heard this on the radio. Were they tapping on a tin can? Like, yo, what were they saying? It's mad loud.
So the headstrong daughter goes out to find the signal, find the radio tower, so she could use her hearing aid to, like,
amplify
it into the radio tower, blast this signal. All the monsters will be stunned, and then they'll be vulnerable to death. Right? Like, that's the plot of the movie, and it's an adventure movie, and there are three main, like, groups. There's the group with the daughter and Cillian Murphy. There's the mother, who is going out to get oxygen for her baby, because they put the baby in a soundproof box so that when it cries, it doesn't make noise. But in order to keep the baby in a soundproof box, they have to put an oxygen mask over it, because you can't have holes in it, right? Which,
as everyone knows, babies love to be put on oxygen.
They love to be put in boxes and carried around like luggage, right?
Oh, it's like the baby from that Kojima game. They got to put the baby in, like,
kinda, yeah.
Like a male baby in stasis.
Kinda, yeah. So she's off doing that, and then the idiot son is off watching the baby. And I won't get into how this idiot son is an idiot son, but he's an idiot son.
There's always an idiot son in these sort of, like, alien things. Fuck you, Dad! I'm going out on my own. Oh, did I run over a ridge and there's 50,000 monsters? Like. Yeah, I bet that probably happened because that's what happened in like War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise movie. His idiot son.
This idiot son is, he's not like F you, Dad. Like he's just kind of dumb because he's just kind of dumb, right? Like he at one point he steps on a bear trap. And and they're like, don't scream.
It's a bear trap, dog. They got my foot.
So
don't scream. Your mom just gave birth and you stepped into a bear trap. Yo, who are these people? By the way, I just listened to the radio. No noise. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense, but that's fine. Like, you got to suspend your disbelief. I'm okay with that.
The problem is you really have to suspend your disbelief, right? You really have to. And if you do, you will be treated to a fun movie. It's a fun movie, but it's not. Like I said, the second you start thinking about it, you're gonna be like, yo, wait, well, what about this and what about that? What about this and what about that? But it's a well-made movie, right? Like it's well acted and well made, and the actress who is hearing impaired is Millicent Simmons.
Okay.
And she's very good. She's a nice, I'm glad to see this type of hero.
Okay.
In a major movie. And, so yeah, if you like the first one, I think the second one is better. If for some reason you can't jive with the first one, I don't think you would like the second one. But I do believe the second one is a better movie, and I wouldn't mind seeing a third one. Like it's just a dumb popcorn movie, but like you're not fooling me movie.
Okay, all right. So I watched a movie that I cannot recommend more. Like I really like I would highly recommend this movie. Like see if you can realize why I enjoy this movie. Let Him Go. This is a movie starring Diane Lane and Kevin Costner. It's on HBO Max. It's about these parents. You know what Diane Lane and Kevin Costner look like. They're older folks. And they have a son who's, let's say, late 20s, early 30s, and he's married to this woman, and they have a child. And they're all kind of living, I guess they all live together or relatively close together. Like that's sort of the premise in the beginning. And the son dies, their only son, he dies. He gets thrown off a horse and like hits his head, right? Like he's like a rancher type of guy. It's a neo-Western, right? It takes place probably in this mid 60s, I guess. And he gets thrown off of a horse. You don't actually see it, but they find him and he's dead, right? Like, I think he has like 5 words of dialogue, right? Which is not particularly important. He dies, unfortunately, and the movie fast forwards, to his widow, who has a son. She ends up remarrying this other guy in town, right? And it's almost played like Diane Lane and Kevin Costner are going to their son's funeral, but you find out that they're going to this second wedding because like it's just like drab and just unfortunate, like fucking scenario. And the parents are depressed for obvious reasons. Kevin Costner is playing every Kevin Costner character you've seen in the last 20 years, which is very, very quiet, and in my opinion, not very good. I am not a Kevin Costner fan at all. I haven't been for a long time. I think the last thing I liked him in was Waterworld, and that was ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm not a Kevin Costner fan. However, I think Kevin Costner was great in this. Like, he really was. Like, it's not that Kevin Costner is a bad actor, is that they try to give Kevin Costner roles that I think they just don't fit him as he's gotten older. Like, they just don't. Like, everybody's looking for that, like, Dances with Wolves Kevin Costner. I'm like, he's just not that same guy anymore. Like, he just isn't, if he ever was. And so so they see this, they watch their former daughter-in-law get married to this other guy who's kind of a piece of shit, right? And one day Diane Lane is like driving into town, and it's all like Utah, Montana type, right? This is a neo-western, so everything is like really drab looking and everything. And she drives into town for something, and she sees this new husband, and her former daughter-in-law and her grandson in town, and like they're getting ice cream and everything is fine, and she's just watching like, oh, lovingly, and the little boy drops his ice cream, and this new husband, he gets pissed and he smacks the little boy, and then he backhands the mom, right? And Diane Lane is like, whoa, okay, this shit isn't fucking unacceptable, right? And at this point, they still live in the same town as them, right? They just live in an apartment or whatever. And she goes to see them at one point, like a couple days later, and they're gone. Like they didn't even say like, hey, we're leaving town. They just bounced and they were gone. And they come to find out that they moved to Montana, back with his family. And what you kind of come to find out is like they take this trip, they just like pack up all their shit. Like the mom, Diane Lane, finds this out that they moved to Montana. Like Kevin Costner is at work. He comes home and like all of their shit is packed up. And Diane Lane is like, oh, I'm going to Montana to get my grandson. Like, what the fuck? You coming or you not coming? like she packed up her cast iron pants. She was like, let's roll. Like, I'm out of here. Taking the station wagon. And he was like Diane Lane, what's interesting about this is like Diane Lane is like, she's the lead, like she leads the family more than he does, right? In a traditional sort of Western, it'd be like, I'm the guy and I'm Kevin Costner and I'm gonna tell you what to do. Like, it's not like that. He's just like, look, they have this really great conversation later on of like, you're a woman who I never quite could figure out. Like, you are so different than everyone else, right? And they really love each other and everything else, right? So they go and they eventually find this family, this sort of wayward family. They're called the Wee Boys, and they're sort of notorious for like kind of being like dangerous and fucking crazy. And you like shit goes left, and like they attack them. The Wee Boys attack Diane Lane, smack her in the face. Like the mom smacks her in the face and shit. Like it's crazy, right? And so they're like, nah, yo, we got to go get our grandson. Like, fuck all that. Get the shotgun. Let's go fuck these people up in this town. It's a perspective you don't see. Grandparents like willing to like do whatever it takes to like go get their grandson. And they literally push to the limit. Like this
is a grandparent movie. Like that's, you don't see grandparent movies.
It's kind of wild, and it's really good. It's a slow burn. Like I will happily tell you that. Like if you're going for like the balls to the wall action movie, like it's not. But that last act, it takes a fucking turn. Like, and it's super creepy. Like it's very creepy in a lot of moments once they meet that family. Like it just starts to kind of weirdly snowball in a lot of ways. That's really strange. But yeah, like it's really good. Diane Lane is really good. Kevin Costner is actually very good in it. And the woman who plays the sort of matriarch of the family, Leslie, her name is Leslie Manville. She is real good. Like you're like, this woman is super crazy. Like, she's nuts. But you don't see that often. Like grandparents, as these like kind of like badasses, in the end. It was kind of dope. Like it went ways I didn't think it would. Like they do some stuff that I didn't think they would do. But it's very good. And the last thing I'll mention about it is it's based on a book. I didn't realize that, of the same name, Let Him Go. But it's directed by Thomas Bazucha, who is directing Secret Invasion for Marvel. That's not why I watched it, but I just found that out as of today. And he's also co-directing that with another guy named Ali Salem. And if anybody knows that name, he directed Manhunt, which was that Unabomber Discovery original series with Paul Bettany and Sam Worthington, which was excellent. So Yeah, look, if he's bringing if these guys are bringing those type of skills that they did on those two particular projects to Secret Invasion, it'll be damn good. And I mean, both of those are a little slower burn, so I would imagine Secret Invasion, which makes sense, right? Like it's a bunch of double crossing and stuff. You got to build
a television show, also. You know what I mean? Like you got time to. I'm sure it'll feel natural in a television show because you got more time to build.
Right, like Manhunt, which by the way I would highly recommend. Is it's not as slow of a burn because it's the Unabomber, but like that story, like it's going, you're like, wow, this is really interesting. And then it fucking takes off. Right. So I imagine Secret Invasion will be very similar to that, but Let Him Go on HBO Max is excellent. Like it's really quite good. I really enjoyed it, but just go in knowing it's a slow burn.
Cool.
Okay. Let's jump right into, movie and TV news.
Oh, you don't want to hear about, Space Jam?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you don't want to hear about Space Jam because you're really excited to see it and don't want to be spoiled, I completely understand.
By all means, please tell me about Space Jam and New Legacy.
Yo, this movie, look, I understand that this movie is not meant for me, right? I 100% get it. This movie is in theory for children. But it is my opinion that children deserve much better movies.
I watched two children's movies this week.
This thing is directed by Malcolm D. Lee.
Really?
Who I enjoy. Look, the movie's not the worst thing in the world.
I just didn't really I like Malcolm Lee's work. I do.
Yeah. I very much like it also. It stars my favorite actor, Don Cheadle. It stars LeBron James, Shaniqua Martin Green, Chris Davis, Sayer J. Wright.
Why don't you just say Zendaya? Because there's no one else on this list anyone cares about.
Well, there's a lot of people in this movie, like a whole lot of people in this movie.
I disagree.
And no. There's a lot of people. You just might not really care about them. Look,
that's fair.
The first Space Jam wasn't for me either, and I think I was supposed to be the target demographic. Michael Jordan was just a horrendous actor. I think LeBron James is a better actor.
You weren't the demographic for Space Jam. You were 16.
When did that come out?
You were 16?
No, I wasn't the demographic.
I would fucking hope not.
Yeah. So I remember watching that first Space Jam and I'm like, I don't get it. But this movie, look, I'm probably going to spoil a lot of this movie. So, you've been warned, but I got to get some of this off my chest, man. The plot of this movie is LeBron James is an overbearing father to one of his sons who doesn't want to play basketball. And it's a weird term for LeBron James, who is playing him a version of himself, right?
Right.
Like I understand LeBron James has a tremendous work ethic, but it just is weird to see him being slightly overbearing, Right,
because he's a notorious nice guy.
Right. Like he's a really cool dude, right? And he's an overbearing father to his son who just wants to make video games. He doesn't want to play basketball. And it's funny because he has another son who is incredibly good at basketball, right? But this kid wants to make video games and he's really good at it. He's so good that he has this special technology through his phone where he can scan a human being and then make them into a video game.
Wow, that's some talent. But fuck that, play basketball anyway. Wow, okay.
Right. Right. So that's the setup. LeBron, and that's the setup for the arc that LeBron James has to have, right?
Okay, fair enough.
LeBron James is called to Warner Brothers in Burbank, California. And Warner Brothers is run by a computer algorithm called Algorithm, played by Don Cheadle. And Don Cheadle The algorithm, algorithm is the thing that is creating all of the Warner Brothers franchises. Every Warner Brothers property that you've ever seen comes from this algorithm, right? So the algorithm
that explains why they're so bad.
it's a weird self-owned, but like I don't think they got it. So this algorithm comes up with an idea and he gives it and he emails it to the Warner Brothers executives. And the Warner Brothers executives, they're like, hey, we got this idea. And the algorithm is watching because the algorithm is everywhere. It's just personified by Don Cheadle.
Right.
And they're like, we got this idea. We're going to put you in everything. We're going to put you in all of our franchises. It'll be you in Harry Potter. It'll be you in, all the other, you in the Matrix. It'll be all the junk that we have. We're going to put you in it. Right. And LeBron James is like, yo, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Like, what am I going to do in Harry Potter world? Right. Like,
right.
It just doesn't, it's stupid. Right. It's dumb. Why would anybody put me, LeBron James, in Harry Potter world? That would be stupid, right? He says that, right? The algorithm gets so offended that this non-actor thinks that this movie his idea is so stupid that he tricks them into coming into the metaverse the serververse. And he's trapped them there. And the only way you could get out is to play a basketball game, right? Like, that's the setup. Fine. The first Space Jam had a dumb setup too, right?
Wasn't it like space aliens or some shit like that?
Space aliens had to play a basketball game. And if you win, then the space aliens will leave or whatever.
Why wouldn't you just do that again with a new athlete?
No, well, there's a reason why, Jay, and
you know what? I don't want to know why. I don't.
Sorry, I'm going to tell you. The reason is because doing it that way, you won't be able to pimp out all of the properties that Warner Brothers has. This movie is the Ready Player One for Warner Brothers.
I was going to say, okay, that's what this feels like. I mean, I would argue, isn't the first one kind of the same thing? I've never seen any of the Space Jam movies.
No, the first one is not. The first one is Michael Jordan. The first one has a much center. It's a story that is centered around the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan, and like it's a simpler movie, but it's simple in a better way, right? This is LeBron James jumping into Looney Tune land. This is LeBron James jumping into the Matrix. This is LeBron James jumping into Harry Potter.
Wow.
This is LeBron James jumping into Mad Max. This is LeBron James jumping into Casablanca.
Wow. Wow.
So you're getting.
Does he fight King Kong or Godzilla at any point?
He does not. No, he does not. But those two do make an appearance, and along with characters like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, you can see him in the background. Pennywise, you can see in the background. The Night King, you can see in the background. It's a bunch of. But
that's not even for kids.
Exactly, and that's my thing, right? That's People weird. Are like, "Oh, this movie's for kids. This movie's for kids." Well, yeah, the movie's for kids, but like who's gonna get
kids shouldn't understand who the Night King is.
Kids shouldn't understand who the hell Pennywise is, right? No. And look, those things are in the background, right? Like, to be fair, those things are in the background. Where he really jumps into the DC world, right? Because he's like, hey, we got to get some people to play this basketball game. Let's get Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, right? He's naming like the Iron Giant. Like he's trying to stack his team. And Bugs Bunny's like, nah, I'm going to get my friends. And
DC sucks. You should have at least Superman there. That would be kind of awesome for one moment. But you can't call Henry Cavill. You already fucked that up.
Superman. So they do have the DC representation, but it's animated DC representation.
Okay, that's not bad.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's not
and
bad. It's cheaper.
It is cheaper, and it's the Bruce Timm style, right?
Okay,
that's cool. Right. And they don't say anything. which is really cheap, right? Like,
that's fucked up.
You ain't got to pay Tim Daly to say, up and away or whatever, right?
Oh.
So, but it is. Look, I understand that this movie is for kids, man. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is not something that I would. My biggest thing about it is the egregiousness of the shilling.
Wow.
This is our property. Like this is. I'm gonna, if I can find it. I thought Wikipedia had references to all of the different things that were made reference in here. Okay, are you ready? Because it might take a minute.
All right. I guess I'm ready. Go for it.
Here we go. Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mad Max, The Matrix, Casablanca, Wizard of Oz, King Kong, Iron Giant, Rick and Morty, Austin Powers, the DC Universe. And then there are people, those are like the main references where LeBron James kind of jumps into those worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have cameos from Warner Brothers properties, like including but not limited to Pennywise, characters from A Clockwork Orange, a nun from The Devils, Gremlins, Beetlejuice.
Wait, The Devils? What the fuck? Who knows what that is?
Beetlejuice, RoboCop, Yogi Bear,
RoboCop. Okay. Wow.
Dick Dastardly, the Flintstones, Top Cat, some Scooby Doo references, some Jetsons references, Magilla Gorilla, Captain Caveman, Frankenstein Jr. and Buzz Conroy, Space Ghost, the Warner Brothers and their sister Dot, Tony Soprano, Gandalf, Frodo, Gollum, the Iron Giant, Lion-O, Chitara, the Goonies.
All right. I'm out. I'm super out. You're right. That's Ready Player One, which is like you were just trying to throw as many references as humanly possible into 2 hours.
And if they were trying to make some sort of like joke about like how this gigantic movie studio is run by a computer program, like a soulless machine, like if it was a commentary on the movie industry,
right? Like it was self-referential, right?
Right, but no, like they own it and they embrace it, and it's like, yo, you shouldn't be proud that your gigantic conglomerate is made by it has ideas from a soulless algorithm, right? Like, also it's insulting to all those actors and artists who, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this shit, just for you to be like, hey, let's put a guy dressed as Jack Nicholson's Joker in the thing and feature him prominently.
What? All right.
So look, I understand that it's for kids, man, but
is it though? Is it?
Right, like that's what I'm trying to.
It doesn't sound like you can have characters like Pennywise and RoboCop and like you can't have those characters. And that's not for kids.
Get Matrix references, dude? Like,
yeah, like kids who are 30, who are 31 years old.
Right, like it's wild, man. But when they actually start playing basketball, it's kind of fun, although they don't have any rules, right? Like. Right. So the stakes aren't there. Right. Like at halftime, they're down by 1,000 points.
It's what was it? Rock and Jock basketball. Like
pretty much.
They got, it's like NBA Jam. Like they got a 25-point net. It's 1,000
pretty
feet
much. Like the movie gets kind of fun in the second half of the basketball game, where they realize, wait, there are no rules, and we're the Looney Tunes. Like, we can do whatever we want. And when the Looney Tunes get to be the Looney Tunes, then the movie starts getting good. But that's like the last 15 minutes of a 2.5 hour movie.
All right.
How long is it? No, it's not 2.5 hours.
Is it 2 hours?
It's 5 minutes shy of 2 hours.
It's too long. If it's supposed to be a kids movie, it should be an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes max. Kids don't have that kind of attention span. Are you kidding me? It took my daughter like 5 days to watch Finding Nemo. 5.
Kids don't know what Casablanca is. Kids don't know what Mad Max is, though. They don't.
Here's the thing. If they do, they fucking shouldn't. Your kid should not, like, hey, my kid's 5. Why does he know what Mad Max is? What the fuck is wrong with you? Good Lord. Get out of here, you terrible parent. That shit is not for children. All right, yeah. You saved me from watching a movie that I was never going to watch. I incidentally watched Finding Nemo again over 5 days, and then we started watching Finding Dory. Those movies are really good. I haven't finished Finding Dory. I had never seen that one, but I had definitely seen Finding Nemo back in the day. Yeah, that's a really good movie. Very good. You know, that movie is actually more for parents than it is for kids. Do you know the message of that movie? Do you remember the message of it?
It's what is it like? It's about like differences, right? Like
it's about an overbearing dad and learning to let go and let your kid like be their own person.
Yeah, I think the second one is about differences, right? Because Dory is like coded as like autistic or something like that. Right?
She has short-term remembery loss, as she says. Yeah. It seems to be more. It seems to be more about like. I don't know if it's differences. I don't know that I can. Because I'm seeing it in like fits and starts, so it's kind of hard to like pick up the messaging. I watch 20 minutes and then I don't see it for a week and a half. But it's good. I'm like definitely enthralled in the story more than I have been on some adult movies. I'm like, this is really good. I hope Dory makes it. It's like, but they're really well written.
Well written kids movies. Imagine that.
Yeah, like Pixar's really good at that. Like they are, and the animation is fucking fantastic. All right, let's get into it. Movie and TV news this week.
There's a new Batgirl cast. Leslie Grace, who was recently seen in The Heights.
So she's not dark skinned Afro Latinos.
Yeah. So apparently she's a problem.
Yeah.
No light skinned Latinx people live in Washington Heights, or are supposed to live in Washington Heights, apparently. She won the role of Batgirl in Warner Brothers and DC's upcoming movie about Barbara Gordon, who is, as we all know, daughter of Commissioner Gordon.
And lover of Batman on a rooftop for some fucking odd reason.
Yo, that was weird. That was weird.
I always wanted to hit it. What?
That was weird, dude.
It's very weird.
That was weird.
Stop trying to fuck your one of your best friend's daughters, you creep.
That would be like Terrence trying to have sex with your daughter.
I would kill him.
That's weird.
I would kill him. Like, sorry, Terrence. Like, it is what it is. You gotta die. Yeah, no, that's fine. I haven't seen In the Heights. So I don't have anything to speak of about her acting skills or anything. What do you think about having a Latinx Barbara Gordon? Have we gone too far, Micah? Has the character been ruined for you? Have the social justice warriors truly won?
It's more of that woke shit. Is what I hear a lot.
Get woke, bro.
Charlie, your best friend, made a very stellar point on Facebook. Said that Leslie Grace, who is of Latin descent, is the daughter of Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon is being played by Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright was also Shaft as Peoples Hernandez.
Yes,
which means that Batgirl is in the Shaft universe, and vice versa.
I mean that is how I would have to see it. And actually, I refuse to see it another way.
So now all I see, thanks to Charlie, now all I see is Peoples Hernandez talking to Batman.
What kind of boat you had?
Sitting on a toilet next to the bat signal,
stabbing himself with an ice pick for some fucking strange reason. Yeah, look, that's fine. I am very interested to see what they do with this, because I don't know where this universe is even going. To be honest, If it is going anywhere, there's, it could just be a one-off. I have no idea. But that's cool. Look, it's nice to see Barbara Gordon getting some shine. Not since Alicia Silverstone donned the cowl.
As the nippleless bat suit.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be rude. Has this character shown up in live action? So that's cool. Good. I'm okay with it. I don't necessarily have any expectations because I don't even know what to expect. So that's fine.
Yeah. Is this, I guess the question is, do they tie this in with, that Harley Quinn movie? Is Margot Robbie even going to be Harley Quinn again? Like, I thought I read somewhere that she was just like, nah, I think I'm done.
I mean, she's in Suicide Squad. I think she'd be around.
Suicide Squad.
I have no idea. I hadn't heard that.
What exactly will this movie be about is the big question. The Wrap says Grace is playing Barbara Gordon, which seems to imply that there's going to be a secret identity dynamic here between her and her father, which will be very interesting. That in and of itself,
okay,
is your movie right there. This article recommends casting Jimmy Smits as Commissioner Gordon, so that they can. Apparently, they were in The Heights playing father and daughter.
No.
Hey, Dexter, he my daughter.
Yeah, he was the worst. Like, why is Jimmy Smits talking like that? It was awful.
I hated that scene.
It was awful. Let's go kill some people. What?
Let's go kill some people, Dexter. Like, aren't you a cop? Yeah, man.
No, was he like a politician, like the governor?
Yeah, he was a politician.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, yeah, let's do it. No, man. Get out of here.
So, I'm happy for her. And I hope that this is an easy transition for her. Like, I hope, the anti-woke brigade doesn't, the sleep brigade, I guess, doesn't harass this woman. I also kind of hope that they don't like mention her race at all.
I don't think they need to.
I don't think they need to.
She wears her race on her face. It's fine. Like, I don't think it's important for Barbara Gordon's race to be mentioned at all. There's nothing about that character that requires her to be any color specifically. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that was another thing that guy said. He said I was a bigot. So I assume he's a white guy and he's mad because I was cool with white characters being people of color in movies because, they're not real. So anyway, go ahead. It's very odd to me.
I have no objections to him calling you a bigot. Black Panther sequel cast.
This guy's nailing it all across the board.
That was a joke, by the way.
You have to explain it to him. He's not.
Terrence's girlfriend, Michaela Cole, has. That's
why I tagged him when I messaged. I'm like, wake up.
Has joined the ensemble cast in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and to quote Anthony, Storm confirmed.
Yeah, no, that's obvious, right? Like it has to be. Look, I mean, let's get real. Everybody seems to have be of two minds here, which is there seems to be two camps, which is she's obviously playing Storm, obviously, and then other people who go, they wouldn't introduce Storm like that. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense from the timeline. But there could also be, maybe they are. I personally don't think she's going to play Storm. It's a shame because I think she'd be great. But no, I think the likelihood is that if you're going to get Storm anytime soon, probably in the next phase, it's probably going to be DeWanda Wise because she was supposed to play a character later or earlier on. She was supposed to play Monica Rambeau, and then she had to bail. And I'm sure they're keeping her in the cut because she's really good and quite beautiful and would probably do really well in the role as well. So
Yeah, I like the Wonder Wise, and I think she would be a great Storm. One misconception that people have with Storm is that they think the Storm herself is African. No, Storm is from New York. Like she's got an African American father and I think a Kenyan mother or something like that who was like a princess. But you can cast pretty much any black woman. Well, apparently you can cast any black woman to be Storm. But you should probably cast them that look a little more like DeWanda Wise or Michaela Cole or, know.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Michaela Cole obviously has very African features.
Right.
And I think that is what a lot of people are looking for to play Storm. No problem with that. Like if this title was Michaela Cole cast as Storm in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'd be over the moon about it. I think she's a fantastic actress. I really do. I think she's great. There seems to be other people who think that she might be playing a different character, which I think is a pretty good guess, which is Madam Slay. If you Google Marvel Madam Slay and you look at pictures of Madam Slay, you're like, yeah, I could see that. Like that makes a lot of sense. Even like the facial features of the character are very similar to Michaela Cole, which doesn't mean anything, but I think it's a pretty good guess. And basically her whole thing is like she can control some leopards and things. Yeah. How about that outfit? But she can control leopards. She was also a lover and ally of Eric Killmonger. And after Killmonger's first death, she preserved his body with some secret herbs. So there could be a continuation of that story. And maybe not obviously a lover of Eric Killmonger, because like, how would she have known him really? But she certainly could have like, hey, I'm going to preserve his body. Maybe, maybe they bring him back. I doubt it. But, or she maybe admires something he did. And maybe she's trying to usurp the throne or something like that. But, there's a possibility that she could be playing Madam Slay, which would be a dope character. Like, she looks cool. I mean, I read up on her. I don't really know her from the comics. I think she's more obscure. But I think it's a pretty low chance that she's, playing Storm. I think that's incredibly low. But look, I need people to understand that if she's not playing Storm, don't write headlines or tweets that say Marvel is scared to cast a dark-skinned black woman as Storm or something like that because you were wrong. Like, they're just not casting that character right now. Just relax.
One of the reasons Black Panther and Captain Marvel didn't come out is because a bigot was running the show. But another reason is because they knew that if they got it wrong, like, they won't hear it.
Yeah, you got to get that one. I mean, that's why Kevin Feige was like, I mean, there's a budget, but it ain't really that much of a budget for this movie. Like, I'm not trying to get in trouble for this. Like, you got to nail it. And they did.
Yeah, you got to nail it. And, they're taking their time with the X-Men. You know why? Because a lot is expected of them. Like, they turned the Avengers into household names. The Avengers were a B-level team in the late aughts, right?
Right.
It was all about the X-Men. Like, you say what you want. When you think of a Marvel team, you think of the X-Men.
Absolutely.
And they are going to take their time to make sure that this is done right. So just everybody be patient. The X-Men are coming. Right now, let's just enjoy what we got.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're getting the mutants until next phase. I don't think you might start to like peek at the mutants as like slight references by close to the end of this phase, but I don't think you're getting any named mutants in this phase at all. Yeah. That's why I think it's way too early to assume it's going to be Storm. That's my only reason. Now, again, I didn't think they'd drop fucking Jonathan Majors as a Kang variant in the end of Loki. They did, so who knows? I'm not saying it's definitely not going to be Storm, but I would venture, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say probably not. So I'm sure that will piss people off when it comes out that she's not Storm, but you need to just relax. You're wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It's okay. Don't worry. Then they haven't forgotten about her. Plus,
Michaela Cole is she's a tremendous actress, man. Like, I can't Look, I started watching I May Destroy You when it first came out. She succeeded. I was destroyed. I could not watch that show because it's too heavy and it's too real.
I've never seen her in anything I didn't think she was tremendous in. Nothing.
Yeah. Even silly stuff like chewing gum.
Right. Yeah, she was great.
So this is a get for Marvel as far as I'm concerned.
I would absolutely agree.
Next up, Marvel's Blade reboot has found its director. Director Basim Tariq. He has directed films such as Mogul Mowgli. Have you heard that?
Nope,
of that?
I have not.
So he is in early talks to helm this feature. He's known for directing the rap drama Mogul Mowgli, which he co-wrote with star Riz Ahmed. You say Riz Ahmed's in a movie, I'm interested in it.
Yeah, pretty much. That guy deserves to be in the MCU.
Say again.
That guy deserves to be in the MCU. I mean, the last superhero movie he was in was Venom. Like, that guy's a way better actor than that movie. Riz Ahmed. I don't know. I could see him as a Namor type. That wouldn't be bad.
I'm still hoping for some sort of East Asian.
Oh yeah.
Henry Golding type to be.
Well, from the talk, it's not like Snake Eyes is going to be a big thing for him. Oops.
Look, Marvel hasn't commented on this story, so it's not 100% accurate, but it, all signs point to yes, this person is doing it.
That's fine.
So I'm interested in that movie, Mogul Mowgli. I might see if I can find it. And but yeah, Blade coming.
Hey, look, we barely mentioned this on a previous episode, but in Loki, they verify they verify that vampires exist. Like, there's a conversation between Renslayer and Mobius, and like Mobius mentions, and then we've dealt with vampires, blah blah blah. Like, they exist. They exist inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, like, there you go. Like, just a throwaway bit of dialogue, but they do in fact exist.
There you go.
All right. Next up, we get our first teaser poster for Jordan Peele's upcoming movie Nope, starring Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, and Stephen Yeun. Coming out 7/22/2022. So obviously it's because it's a Jordan Peele film. We have zero idea what it's about. It's a horror movie of some sort, or suspense. All we see in the poster is a cloud with a trailing sort of like some sort of birthday banner or something like that. It's a line with a bunch of like triangles, little flags on it or whatever.
Flags on it.
Just some sort of colorful banner. So, I don't have any speculation. I mean, I guess maybe aliens or something. I don't know. But at the same time, look, I don't care. I'll see it. I think he's really talented. And the guy, I don't think, I'm hoping with this movie, people don't try to guess the plot when the first trailer comes out and convince themselves it's one thing and then be disappointed that it's something else. Because I think Us was very good, but people, I think, ruined it for themselves, weirdly.
I guarantee you people will. That's the problem with coming out with your first movie and it just being like gangbusters.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to expect that. Like, you're never going to get that again. You're never going to Get Out again.
Yeah, you can't. Like, you're like chasing the dragon the whole time.
Right. And I think Jordan Peele knows that, and he's not trying to do Get Out again, right? Like,
right.
He said it took him like 8 years to write that script.
Yeah, that's why it's so fucking tight.
Right. Like, I don't know. I hope people give it a chance and stop comparing it to Get Out.
Yeah.
Don't compare it to Get Out.
Yeah. Just let it stand on its own. And like, I think there's so much. We did a review of both Get Out and Us on Black Cinema. Like, Us has a lot to say. Like, it's quite a good movie. I actually found it to be pretty great, but you have to like let it sit on its own. Don't try to how do you connect it to Get Out? And what was it like? I saw somebody's tweet when that first trailer came out for Us, and they're like, his first movie was Get Out, and now his second movie is Us. Is he telling black people to get out of the U.S.? I was like, you need to relax. You gotta relax, You're going way too far. You're going way too far. It turns out that's not what he was trying to say at all.
Actually, Jay, is he telling the black people to get out of the U.S.? The third movie answers it.
Nope. Should I speculate more? No. Nope. That's what it's called. No. Like, knock it off. It was really funny. Somebody posted, I wish I could find it. Somebody posted a tweet saying that breaking news, Lena Waithe to produce a film called Nah in 2022. Oh, she does seem to be doing like the Great Value version of his work, which is quite funny. I found it to be quite funny. Yeah, so I don't know what it's going to be about. Nobody knows, but yeah, I look forward to it. Next up, The Rock responds to Vin Diesel's tough love comments when referring to why they had a feud, because Vin Diesel, as we talked about, said that he had to give The Rock some tough love acting notes, and The Rock got pissed, and Daddy had to go to work or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, apparently, according to The Rock, he says, quote, when he heard that, he says, quote, I laughed, and I laughed hard. I think everyone had a laugh at that, and I'll leave it at that, and that I wish them well. I wish them well on Fast 9. I wish them best of luck on Fast 10 and Fast 11, and the rest of the Fast and the Furious franchise, or excuse me, the rest of the Fast and the Furious movies that they will do without me. So he's also saying, like, I'm out. I'm done with this franchise. But I do think he's still going to do Hobbs and Shaw too, which is weird. But we'll see. I mean, he said he was going to. We'll see if he's pulling out of that, but no confirmation on that. Are you sad that The Rock will not show up in Fast 10 or Fast 11?
No, I'm not sad. I don't hate The Rock. I just think he's a little obnoxious sometimes, especially when it's time to promote things.
Like, yeah, you broke a wine glass over that opinion.
Yeah, he just he's a solid enough actor. He's still very likable. But he still looks kind of like odd being the biggest dude in the room who's not like that's what most of his roles were like. Oh, I'm just an alarm salesman who happened to be ex-US Special Forces. Like, all right, all right. Come on, man. Like,
on my off days, I bench 475. Like, wow, okay, we get it. Good Lord, you're fucking gigantic,
right, dude? Like, but I think he's got a good work ethic. I just
yeah, I'd say so.
And I'm not gonna lie, some of his movies I enjoy. But gone are the days of The Rock being what he called franchise Viagra. Because when you really think about it, like, I don't really think he was, right? Like, he was in that G.I. Joe movie, and that was, that movie wasn't good. And we're only now getting a Snake Eyes movie, like a third G.I. Joe movie.
Right. It wasn't like, all right, well, this one didn't work. Let's get a third one in the works. Like, no.
Right. Like, he was in Fast 5, but I would argue that Fast 5 was the franchise Viagra for that series and not The Rock being in it.
That is correct.
Right? Justin Lin is the franchise Viagra for the Fast and Furious franchise. Right?
Yeah, it's not any one actor, dude. Like
it really isn't.
I mean, if you could, I mean, let me say this. I agree with you about Justin Lin. I think he is the reason why these movies are working as well as they are. But, you can make fun of Vin Diesel all you want. And he's not the greatest actor. But that franchise needs him, It does. Because Fast 8 did not feel as good when he wasn't with that team. It wasn't.
No, it doesn't. And especially now that Paul Walker's like it would have worked if Paul Walker was still around.
Yeah, it would have.
Right? It really would have worked because there's a lot of history there, but yeah, it just didn't. Fast 8 was not the best.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
It was fun, right? It was fun, but at the same time, I'm just kind of over the macho bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like The Rock when he's in Jumanji. He was good in that first Jumanji movie because he wasn't the overly I could throw a torpedo missile with my bare arms. And I get it. That's that franchise. Everybody in that franchise does it. But I don't know. I don't know. Look, I don't hate the dude. I'm not going to see Jungle Cruise. What other movies does he have coming out?
I still stand by the whole point of he calls himself franchise Viagra. I'm like, where's your franchise? No, he don't have
Jumanji. He's got that. That's the only.
Fine. I would argue it's him and Kevin Hart. It's not so much him. No, I'm serious. I think they equally bring people to the seats, but it's not just him, right? He doesn't have a movie where it's people are coming to see him by himself as a franchise. No, he doesn't have that, which is weird because as popular as he is, you'd think he could manifest something quite easily.
I mean, who else doesn't really have franchises? And I'm saying this as a joke because I don't want you to fucking flip out. But who else doesn't have a franchise? Denzel Washington. Right?
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. He doesn't need a franchise. Well, he's got the Equalizer franchise. I didn't even see the second one. I didn't even care anymore.
Look.
That's a wild thing to say considering the Equalizer 2 is his first sequel.
Right. You know what I mean? Technically the Equalizer is his franchise.
That's wild and unnecessary.
Look, I don't see any other movies of his right now that I would watch. Apparently he has a cameo in a Ryan Reynolds movie coming up. Red Notice. I'll watch Red Notice.
I'll watch that. Yeah.
I'll watch Red Notice. I'm probably not going to watch the DC League of Super Pets.
I'm not going to watch that.
As much as we're shitting on Black Adam, we're going to see Black
100%. So, I will happily see the Justice Society movie that has the name Black Adam as the title. That's what that movie is. Look, I'm sorry, Black Adam fans. It's not a Black Adam movie, yo. It's a Justice Society movie. That's all it is. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Nah, yo. And look, I would argue it's a little weird. We've seen nothing from that movie.
He posted a picture of him and his stunt double, another giant dude. And he had a poncho on, but you got to see part of his legs were in the Black Adam outfit. So it's coming. I just I wonder how much CG is going to be in that movie.
It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I do wonder how much CG is going to be in that.
They said Dr. Fate is almost all CG, which is weird.
Like Ryan Reynolds is Green Lantern, like Ryan Reynolds is Hal Jordan.
I don't know. It's weird because it's just a dude in a Doctor Strange costume with a helmet. Why is it mocap? But there's a lot of flying around. Yes, I don't know.
I'm looking at The Rock's filmography, and
good luck with that.
It's interesting, right? There's a lot of movies that I've seen that I don't hate. I don't hate Be Cool. He didn't really star in it, but he was in it.
Yeah, he was in it.
I hated Doom. I like The Rundown. I'm shocked that the Rundown wasn't like his
franchise.
It
should have been, because he was actually great.
I really enjoyed that movie.
That was like when he was like trying not to use guns. Remember, like, because he was like still a big WWE. He was still like a kid. Like not that he was a kid, but he was still like a kid favorite wrestler. So they were like, we can't do too much violence. Like it was just kind of funny.
But he's got an interesting filmography that you could see like at maybe faster. Then he starts to get into more like adult oriented roles. He was great in Pain and Gain. Look,
he was.
You say what you want about Michael Bay. Michael Bay makes some pretty entertaining movies.
Oh, yeah, he makes garbage too. But Pain and Gain is a fucking fun movie. It is. It's a fun movie.
It is. I don't know what Empire State is. It looks like a straight to DVD movie.
Yeah.
Hercules.
Yeah, he did do that.
Oof. All right.
I made it 23 minutes, I believe, into that movie. I was like, this is enough. This is enough. I don't care anymore.
I think everything from Hercules on, I think I've seen.
I'm sorry.
Furious 7 seen. San Andreas, no. Bits and pieces of it. Central Intelligence, yes.
No.
Moana, no.
No.
Fate of the Furious, yes. Baywatch, unfortunately, yes. Jumanji, yes. Rampage.
Yes, I saw
No,
that.
I haven't saw it. You saw it?
Yeah, I saw a screener for it. Relax.
Skyscraper. Look, Skyscraper was hilarious.
It was. It was a great No Time to Bleed episode.
Skyscraper was hilarious, man.
It was ridiculous.
I haven't seen that. Shazam, I haven't seen that. Hobbs and Shaw's. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't hate the guy. I just find him to be a little bit obnoxious. And that's not,
All right.
Like for him to be so glib about like Vin Diesel teaching him how to act, like you ain't that far ahead.
Right. Like that was my thing. It's like Vin Diesel, like all right, he's a 5, you a 6, dog. Like what you talking about? Like, and again, I don't hate The Rock, but I think he can be really obnoxious sometimes, and I'm just like, all right, just relax. I like a buddy of mine who's probably going to hear this at some point. He did not like the last 2 or 3 Fast and Furious movies, and he's a huge fan of that franchise. But he liked Hobbs and Shaw. He was like, yeah, the Fast movies are getting ridiculous. I'm like, they had superpowers in Hobbs and Shaw. What are you talking about? Like, get out of here. I was like, you just like The Rock. He was like, well, that's true, but fuck you. I was like, all right, it's fine. Just admit it. Like, The Rock has charisma. He does. And that's his great asset. Man. But The Rock's great charisma is handicapped by roles that he gets put in because he's such a big guy, right? Like, weirdly, I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. Dave Bautista could teach The Rock a huge lesson, which is you got to try to pick stuff a little bit out of that I'm built like a Mack truck world. Like, Dave Bautista's like been in like he's now going to be in 2 Denis Villeneuve films. Like he's trying to do other things.
He's trying to act, man. He's not. Right. He doesn't have that like bullshit bravado thing going on.
No, he doesn't seem to. No. And I mean, he is kind of funny. Like, is the character smart?
Right, come on.
I mean, you're 350, yo. Like,
go to therapy.
I want people to think I'm smart. Like, that's cool. I like Dave Bautista. He seems like a fine dude.
He's a cool dude. He's a good human being. But like, even like John Cena, who used to be ginormous, now he's just huge. He used to be ginormous. Even he slimmed down for some movie roles, though.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it in trailers. Like, he doesn't look. I mean, he looks like a muscular guy, but he doesn't look crazy like he used to. He doesn't
look like ruthless aggression John Cena, where he was just gigantic, Like he slimmed down and he grew his hair out, or like inserted plugs in probably. To get like different types of roles.
And it's working for him.
It is working because you can't, like, people aren't built like that dude, yo. Like, people aren't built. The average person is not built like that. So when you're trying to tell me there's some dude who is 6'5", 280 is a boat captain, like, I'm not gonna believe it, yo.
Right. Well, his chest is as wide as the mast on the ship. Like come on, man. Like it does limit him. Like, ironically, if The Rock had stayed the size that he was in the Rundown, he'd be a bigger star.
Yeah, I think so.
He'd be a bigger star because people would have been like, yeah, he's like a fit guy. Like he's got the action guy size, but he can also do comedy. He can also do drama. Like, he looks like a regular dude in the world. Now,
who had a body that was attainable to, like, the
humans?
Schlubs like me who aren't going to fucking attain it, right? But it looked like it was attainable.
I could do that. I mean, if I wanted to, but I don't. Right.
Even my wife, who was a fan of his, is like, he's too big now.
Right, yo, he's gigantic.
But he's built like a 90s superhero.
Right, but those movies don't exist anymore.
Right. So, I don't know.
So, like, he would have to relegate himself to superhero movies only. It's like Henry Cavill was a fucking monster, but then when he got out of the Superman role, he trimmed down. Like, he trimmed down. Like, you can't look
cut, right?
Like, he's still a big dude.
You just can't, like, it just.
You can't look like a Rob Liefeld comic book character, dude. Yeah. It's real hard for them to be like, let's cast him in a romantic drama. Like, no, nobody wants to see that. Like, it's crazy. But if he had stayed somewhere around where he was in the Rundown, I honestly think he'd be a bigger star. I think he would be because he's got charisma. Like, he's a perfectly fine actor. But I don't know. Somebody was like, "Yo, you get Small Rock," and he was like, "Fuck that. Put another plate." on the bar, and it's like, all right, you got to relax. So I don't know. Maybe he's just getting like really good drugs. So God bless him. But yeah, he's not coming back for the Fast and the Furious franchise.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's fine. There won't be too many more of those things, right? Like,
no, we're getting 2 more, I think, and that's it. Like, we don't need any more after that. Look, it served its purpose. It'll probably get a couple of spinoffs, I'm sure. Sure. But the core family will not be there. They should just go into the future where then they can just do whatever the fuck they want. It's like Batman Beyond. Just Vin Diesel as old Dom Toretto training a young Terry McGinnis, his son, right? Brian.
Yeah. Brian.
Yeah. Who they should have named Paul. That was stupid, but whatever.
Yeah. Little Brian. What are you doing? Like, why you don't talk like that, dude? Like, you don't talk like that. I've heard you speak. Like, everything is not like this. You don't sound like this all the time.
Street Sharks. Right. That fucking video.
Letty, I love you. Like, you'll never hear that. They got no chemistry.
Like, hey, yeah, you all right. Like, and that's her response to him as well.
You're my road dog. Like, all right.
That's the best. Give me a hearty handshake. Like, oh, man. All right, next up, Warner Brothers will release 10 original movies straight to HBO Max in 2022. That says a lot. Apparently, they will be doing, they are continuing what they did this past year. Obviously, it's not going to be their huge tentpole movies, but they are still planning to do 10 straight to streaming platform films next year. Obviously, this year included like things like Godzilla versus Kong, Suicide Squad, and Dune that were sort of day and date. But they seem to be continuing that to try to really compete with Netflix and probably Disney Plus and those other streaming services like Tubi.
Look, as long as I don't have to pay anything extra for it, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will 100% watch them. If they look interesting. But I think they've used this year. Hopefully, they've used this year to really kind of gauge to look at the numbers and see what people are watching.
Right.
And while I would love, the big stuff to come. Like you ain't getting a Suicide Squad type movie next year coming to this service.
No way.
But a Godzilla versus Kong, yeah, I don't want to pay to see that, but I want to see it. You know what I mean?
Sure. I don't know what you mean, but sure. God bless. You guys can have it. Like, no, I refuse.
This is why that guy don't like you.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not a man of the people.
No, if that's being a man of the people, no, I am not. I'm better than the people. No, I'm kidding. Relax. No, I mean, look, if you're mad at me because I didn't see Godzilla versus Kong, that's why you're writing your scree. Like, I get it. It's fine. You have the same brain capacity as Godzilla. I get it. Like, it's fine. Or a giant dumb ape, who doesn't understand basic sarcasm. Yeah, look, look, this is fine. This is fine. I'm cool with it. Look, No Sudden Move. That was a direct to HBO Max film by Steven Soderbergh, and it was fantastic. So it doesn't mean necessarily the quality is going to be bad. So, I mean, the irony, Cam and I were talking about this in the fan group. The irony is most of the movies they've done day and date this year have been bombs. They've largely been bombs. Like, they really haven't nailed a lot of them.
Bombs in terms of
critical
content?
bombs. No, just critical bombs.
Yeah. Right?
Like, I mean, they do numbers because people are like, good, I don't have to go outside. Like, that's great. But largely, outside of the black, Judas and the Black Messiah, they've almost all been like, this is not great. Right? Like, that's pretty much been the critical response to all of them. So it's kind of funny because I don't think they did that on purpose, but it kind of worked for them in a way. I think they got way more eyes on their stuff than they would have otherwise. Like, I think if Godzilla versus Kong had come out in theaters only, sure, like hardcore, kaiju fans would have seen it, but I think a lot more people watched it because they were like, well, it's on HBO Max, so why not? Because I think if the reviews came out, it's like, this is a piece of shit, people wouldn't have seen it. Like, unless you were already apt to see it anyway. But I do think Suicide Squad and Dune, I think those are going to be fucking massive hits. I do think so. Dune may not be a massive hit because of just the nature of the film, but I think it's going to be critically acclaimed. I think people are going to really like it. Like, critics will like it. So we'll see.
It's all about making money for Warners, though. They don't give a shit about what they look. If Space Jam is any indication, they don't give a damn about what the critics say. They care about that dollar. Space Jam made like $30 million in the box office this weekend.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be fine. I'm just saying, like, things like Dune, and we'll talk about the new trailer, but things like Dune, I don't think will resonate as high as something like a Suicide Squad for obvious reasons. But Dune is a story that I don't think would resonate nowadays with a lot of people just because it's not so flashy. Like, it's hardcore sci-fi in the vein of like a Blade Runner that's just like not in fashion right now. It looks great, but I think I will likely enjoy it. But I really love Blade Runner 2049. But a lot of people just didn't really talk about it because they were like, this just didn't appeal to them. But it critically was like beloved. So, and by people who loved the first Blade Runner, they fucking loved it. So, we'll see. All right, let's do some wild speculation. So there's a clip. There's a clip of the sort of like last few minutes of a major scene in WandaVision and in Loki synced up in this. If you click on this story, it'll take you to that the video that someone did, and it's the moment where Wanda is sort of pulling all of her power from Agatha, and simultaneously the scene in Loki where He Who Remains is talking to Loki and Sylvie, right? And it's really interesting, and you definitely need sound when you watch this to recognize what's going on. But there's a moment where he's talking to the two characters. He Who Remains is talking to Loki and Sylvie, and he pauses his speech for the almost exact amount of time that Wanda is pulling all of this power from Agatha and is becoming the Scarlet Witch. And he's like, if you watch, he's responding basically to what's happening in that show, right? It's like synced up. And he even says, like, after she fully becomes the Scarlet Witch, that we've crossed the threshold or whatever. And then he does this thing where he picks something up off of his desk and he's like looking at it and he drops it on his desk just at the almost exact same moment that Agatha falls to the ground, right? Like, as he's literally watching in the timeline as it's happening, right? It's really fascinating, and I don't think it's by chance. It also is really interesting that if you watch this, I saw someone in the comments said if you look behind his shoulder, the window or whatever, it's getting redder and redder as she's like pulling power from Agatha at the same time, which is really fascinating. Which means that, like, to me, how I read this is, again, wild speculation, is that Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch and it being chaos magic that she has, this creates a Nexus event that basically throws everything into into literal chaos, right? So, which is why he can't see what's going to happen next. Like, that's why he's like, oh shit, like, this is something totally new. What are your thoughts of that?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. It's funny, you can see like the red coming from one side of the screen. Not even one side of the screen, but you can see one side of their faces on Loki. The light is kind of fluctuating, and you could see like this side of their face
right
is getting redder. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't think it's an accident. I think that this is very interesting. I also think that, look, this is this might be your No More Mutants moment, although it's not about mutants, right? Like, right. This is, or at least unbeknownst to Wanda, like, this is, like you said, the Nexus level event that just kind of broke the timeline. Like, this is the thing that creates the multiverse,
right?
Which is you look at He Who Remains, and he's just like,
oh shit. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
It's a really fascinating mashup, like, to do this. Like, but I like things like this because it goes to show you, like, look, quiet as kept, Marvel is not as perfect as everyone thinks they are in, like, syncing things up, but there are things that they do on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of those things that I think they did intentionally do just to see if people catch it. You know what I mean?
Because when I watched it, I was like, wow, he is really, like, kind of like it, like, he's really off for an extended amount of time for this moment, right? Like what the fuck is that all about? But I just thought it was a character choice. I didn't think it was something meaningful, and especially like him dropping the thing on the desk. I was like, okay, he's just a fucking wackadoo. But to see that and then to see it synced up with WandaVision is really fascinating. So, like, people have to be very careful in going, oh, this shit meant nothing. Oh, I think I'm inclined to disagree. So it's fascinating. So, look, if Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch is the event that fucking breaks, I don't think it necessarily creates the multiverse as much as, because that's what the title is. WandaVision and Loki last episode synced. Did Scarlet Witch open the multiverse? Yeah, I think it's more about her. I think the multiverse was cut off by He Who Remains, and those, like, branches are more about reconnecting to other universes, right? Like, where there are all these branches, but they're all being severed to keep this one timeline. And so once they reach past a certain point, they reconnect, and then the multiverse is reconnected. So, I don't know. I think it's a super interesting point that it's not so much his death that caused all of this. It's that
his death means that he can't make sure that this doesn't happen. Right. Like this was going to happen, but because he's dead now, like, oh shit, like I can't put this fire out.
Yeah. And like he's kind of, and because of the chaos magic, again, all wild speculation, but also because of the chaos magic, he didn't know what was going to happen after that. Like once she became the Scarlet Witch, because like if you notice his dialogue after that, like when they're like, oh, I'm going to fucking stab you, he's just like, oh, what's going to happen? I literally have no idea. And for the first time, I don't know. Like I can't use my little time thing to fucking get out of the way. I literally don't know what's going to happen. And so like all that dialogue after it is all new information to him. So, that's fascinating. Like that's a super fascinating thing. That Wanda is very well may be, I don't know if she is, but very well may be the catalyst, that caused this. Like all the like, oh, it's Sylvie's fault. Like, nah, yo, it actually might just be Wanda's fault.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with. I would love for Wanda to be an antagonist, and not antagonist as in bad guy, but like the reason why the good guys have to like she's the cause of this. And I would love for I don't know what I want. But for some reason I feel like Wanda being an antagonist would lead to some pretty decent drama. Yeah. Especially because at the end she was essentially looking for her kids again.
Right.
And yeah, what you gonna do? You gonna tell her not to, that what she's doing is dangerous? You gonna tell her that?
I'm good.
I don't think so, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You found your kids? Good luck. Right.
You can if you want to. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like that would be something, because the MCU, while one of the biggest knocks is that they don't have good villains, and the villains that they have usually, they die, or they're just not as good. Right. Well, I think this would be a tremendous antagonist, not even a villain. I think she would be a tremendous antagonist. She's turning out to have one of the more interesting arcs throughout this whole, not even experiment, right? Like it's proven that it works.
Yeah, not anymore.
But this whole thing, she's proving to have one of the better stories throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I never would have imagined it.
No, I didn't think they would focus on her. Like I thought, she got her story in Age of Ultron and be like, all right, use the hero and like, let's just move on. Cause trying to explain your background is too fucking wacky anyway. Like forget it. But they figured it out. But yeah, like I do like the idea of using her as a catalyst for getting the multiverse moving. And look, this clip gives a little bit more meat on the bone to the last moment in WandaVision, which is her looking through the Darkhold, or reading the Darkhold and hearing her kids' voices. She's not hearing them in hell or whatever that some people speculate. She's hearing them in the multiverse, right? And and here she may be able to figure out how to reach into the multiverse and go get them from another, from another universe, which is really interesting. And are they older? Are they?
That's what I'm thinking. They are maybe not even like older, like, but they're like older than they were.
They're Spider-Man's age.
Yeah. So that you can get this young team.
There you go. I'm telling you, man, look, my speculation is that you are getting at least 3 teams. You are getting your Avengers, however they look, right? With Sam Wilson and the Hulk or She-Hulk, or I guess it'd probably be She-Hulk is probably going to be the prominent Hulk at some point. And like that team, right? Some version of the OG team with these new characters. I think you're going to get a Young Avengers team or the Champions or some, they may give it a better name. They might go with the Champions. And then I think you're getting like a Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts, like whatever they decide to do with that, right? I think it's going to be the Dark Avengers, but hopefully a better name because Dark Avengers.
Well, don't forget the cosmic side too.
Right, that's true.
You got a whole wing of stuff over there,
right?
So.
Which, by the way, we were kind of told that's a really good point actually, because the whole premise before was that the cosmic side was getting ready to take over. That was going to be the big focus, but it doesn't seem to be the cosmic side. It seems to be the magic side, which is interesting, right? Like I wonder if when they were saying that, was that a purposeful sort of distraction? Like we're just fucking around, or did they have to shift things because they had lost Gunn for a while, like did they just move stuff around? But I mean, or maybe that's still coming. I don't know, but it seems to me that you're likely to get at least 3, maybe like you said, you might get a cosmic team. Like, so that's 4.
You're going to get a cosmic team. And then you got, the Fantastic Four, which they're not going to be a part of the cosmic team, right? Like they're not going to be a part of the Asgardians of the galaxy, right?
Right,
like,
exactly.
They're not going to be a part of them. So, and maybe they just kind of one and done that team. I doubt it, right? Like, or, that cosmic side will commingle with the Fantastic Four. But yeah, man. And then, in 2023, 2024, you get the X-Men.
That's a lot. That's a lot of teams. And like what that makes the universe feel big, like really big, right? Where you just like, we're going completely away from the kicking and punching aspect of the MCU. Like you Cap and all those guys are down there doing their thing. We're going cosmic. And in this next movie, we're going completely time traveling or multiverse hopping with this other team. We're going, super local, but with other superpowers with the X-Men. Like there's a lot you can do. So I still want a Mojo's World X-Men movie. Like I think it would really be fun to let them cut loose somewhere else, but you can't do that right away. Like you got to give them a time to be established on Earth.
Do you think that after this next phase of movies, because the X-Men in and of themselves are gigantic, right?
Yeah, they could be their own phase.
They can be their own like universe. Do you think that they kind of slowly push? Because like you said, this is a lot, dude. Like this is a lot. And I don't see them coming out with 5 movies a year. But I mean, maybe, but do you think
seems like a lot?
Right.
That's a lot to manage.
It feels like it's overkill, and it feels like it's just a lot, like you said, a lot to manage. Do you think they might phase out certain groups?
Yeah.
And to bring the X-Men in, like, yay, we did the Avengers, and hey, we did the all new, all different Avengers, right?
Right.
Now it's time to phase them out, and we focus on more of the cosmic side, and then bring the X-Men in, and then phase the cosmic side out. And
I think what you
Midnight Suns in, and
right. I think where they might focus, which they've given themselves a good base for, is they may give you those kind of smaller teams like Midnight Suns and stuff like that, and keep that stuff on Disney Plus until like, all right, these guys are together. Like if you're doing Moon Knight now, there's no reason to bring Moon Knight, in my opinion, there's no reason to bring Moon Knight into the universe, the movie part of the universe, until Blade is established. And if you're doing that, you might as well get Ghost Rider established as well. Whether Ghost Rider needs a movie or a television show, I don't necessarily think so. I think you're going to probably start to see some characters like these sort of reiteration characters that we've seen done poorly by Fox or something like that, kind of get like, hey, I'm going to show up in like 1 or 2 episodes of like Moon Knight, and then like I'm established, and like we don't have time to give every character their own TV series or their own movie. But I could see Midnight Suns being an event on Disney Plus more so than being in the movies, right? Like, but I do think those characters will move back and forth. Like, right now we're only seeing a one direction transfer, right? Which is people from the shows going to the movies. But soon you're getting ready to see She-Hulk, right? And you're going to see the Hulk come from the movies and Abomination come from the movies into the television series. So I think they're going to start playing with a two-way street. And I think that's a way to sort of, we're transitioning one team out, but we'll keep them going in these smaller scales. We'll concentrate on one or two characters or the team and then move them back in and out. I think that's probably the way to do it. So that's a lot to juggle, though. Like, Kevin Feige is going to have to make another copy of himself, like, at some point. Like, somebody he can trust that's been there along with him for a while, that he can go, you handle the TV side, I will handle the movie side.
Yeah, I mean, they have a team of producers, right? Like, he's just like the HNIC head nerd in charge, right? And
that's not what he says. That's not what he says when the cameras are off.
And but he has a team of people, so I'm imagining that their roles will be expanded a bit. But it's exciting if you like this stuff, man. Like, God, what could have been on the DC side, man? What could have been?
Again, if you just stop throwing random shit at a wall, just stop for a second, write out a story.
And they don't, not even a story, not even write out a story. Have an outline, man.
Yeah, a couple of storyboards, for God's sakes. Call up the algae rhythm and make some.
Right. Like, could you imagine that if they hadn't have rushed things where things could be right now, right? Like, let's say Man of Steel could be the unofficial, like, start of the DC EU. Instead of doing Batman v Superman, they could have done a Superman 2. And then after that, you could have had your Wonder Woman movie, right? Wonder Woman's fine. You can keep Wonder Woman, the first one, as it is. Then you could have had, instead of Justice League, you could have had your Batman movie by now, right? And it could have been the Ben Affleck Batman movie. And now we could be talking about a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be awesome to have that movie, like this gigantic team up movie, right when Marvel was not doing a gigantic team up movie?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and people would have been clamoring for it, man.
Like if you put, like, what you could have had a Justice League movie, a proper Justice League movie with proper build coming out opposite Black Widow. And I loved Black Widow.
It ain't the Justice League.
It ain't the Justice League.
I'm gonna see both, but calm down.
Well, people who are just gonna see one,
they're gonna see
Justice League.
Yeah.
So,
like, look, I would have been like, "That's cool." Like, day and date. All right, Scarlett, I got you. I'll be home. I'm gonna go see Justice League.
Right.
Knock it off. But, like, look. I know the biggest problem with those movies is, I mean, besides the direction in the story, just is not saying little. But the biggest problem is they did not want to do what Marvel did. They did not want to build those characters and then give you this huge payoff. We're not going to do that. And that's fine. But the way you went about it, you could have gone a different way. Just the way you went about it was terrible. Like, it just wasn't very good. But I do think, like, it would have paid to, like, okay, if I had to do a Justice League movie, I agree with you. I'd have done Superman. I would have even done Superman or, Man of Steel. I would have gone right into Wonder Woman. I don't even think you need a Man of Steel 2 right at that point. Superman, Wonder Woman. I would have gone The Flash. Then I would have gone Batman. We've had 1,000 Batman movies. Establish those fucking characters. Like, Batman, of all the team, he should be the last one, right? Because his whole thing is like, he's reluctant to join the Justice League. Like, I don't want to roll with y'all. Fuck y'all. Like, a bunch of weirdos. Like, get out of here. I don't even have superpowers. But you could have done Green Lantern right. Like, really taking your time and done it and not fuck that up. And because they're gun shy, right? Like, they are super gun shy for a long time because how bad that movie was. Spoiler alert, how about you don't make his uniform fucking CGI, you idiots? Super expensive, dude. Right? It made no sense. Like you just give him a suit and just in post, like just light it up. Like it's not like, I don't understand why that was so hard, but you do all of that, right? You do Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. Then the last character you do is Batman. And then you bring in Cyborg as a connective tissue in Justice League, right?
Yeah, as your audience POV character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you do that, but you don't make the story like Justice League didn't need to be Steppenwolf comic. Like you didn't need to tie it to Darkseid. That's too much. That's too much. Like the weird thing is as goofy as it was, and I think it could have been done much better, the villain could have been Max Lord, right? Like, had you done that story better, here's a guy making fucking wishes and like granting these wishes of like all this craziness, and then he becomes this like egomaniacal fucking villain. Or you could have just made it Lex Luthor. Like that would have also worked, right? Keep it into like a more human realm. That would have worked. Or, which would have been fun, this would have been fun, something Marvel hasn't done. They may be working their way through this, is establish every villain in the fucking individual movies and have them join up as the League of Doom, as the Legion of Doom. Yeah. And then that sparks all of these superheroes to go, well, these guys are all coming together, and each individually they're trying to stop them and they can't beat them all by themselves. And they're like, we gotta join up and create a league. And then in that moment, they do something that is so catastrophic that Batman's like, I got to join up with these guys because that's the only way we're going to beat these guys. There's your Justice League. Justice League, like all heroes versus all villains in one fucking like kick-ass moment at the end. That would have been different.
That would have been great. That would have been great.
But like, they didn't even get the fucking dialogue right at the end where it's like, well, maybe we'll create our own league. It's not called the fucking bad guy league, you asshole. It's the Legion of Doom. It's called just say our own Legion. Just say Legion. It's the fucking name. It's the name. Why are you so afraid of the comics? This shit is already ridiculous. We're already in. And that's the thing that DC never did. They're like, oh, should we show it? Yeah. We're watching a guy flying around in a robot suit, dude. Fighting a giant Josh Brolin. Like, we're in. He threw a planet at a guy. We're all in. Just call it Legion of Doom. It's fine. It sounds ridiculous. We know. We watch Super Friends. It's fine. It's fine. But that would have actually been cool. Like, that's a thing that we haven't seen is a group of villains all teamed up. Look, we still haven't gotten Sinister Six on the Marvel side. We haven't gotten Thunderbolts. We haven't gotten Dark Avengers. We have never seen a desperate, group of villains feeling the need to team up against heroes. We've never seen that in a formal team. That's where fucking DC could have fucking owned that. And it would have been really hard for Marvel to do that again and not get compared to it. Because that's the problem. DC is so far behind. Whatever they do will get compared to what Marvel has done. And they don't have anything fresh. And they're too far behind to do Legion of Doom now. You're getting Sinister Six. Like, that's happening. That's obvious. How that looks is a different story, but I don't know. But that's what I would have done. Like, all of them versus like all good guys versus all bad guys. And then you could have had them like pair off. Like, I'll fucking, like,
could have been like Fast Six.
Yeah, when they had to fight. Yeah, they had to fight the fucking Legion of Doom.
They had to fight their opposites and shit. They had to fight their evil doppelgangers.
That's all, dude. Come on, man. This is easy. I
think that's part of the reason why I like that movie too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Tyrese even says, he was like, "Look, this is you. Like, this guy even looks like you." Like, he has that moment where they're like giving the rundown. Yeah, because it's fucking obvious. But that would have been the way to go, is to give them a Legion of Doom. Stop trying to give them these like, going Steppenwolf is too big. Like, it's just too big. And it also just seems silly.
I think they were modeling it after the New 52 Justice League, if I remember, like.
But that wasn't their first villain.
The New 52 Justice League, yeah.
Oh.
Like, that first run was like Darkseid.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's been a while because I read that first arc of Justice League. I didn't remember it being Darkseid. I thought it was someone else.
I think it was Darkseid. Yo, like the synopsis, the heroes. God, I fucking hate fandom. The heroes finally start acting like a team when they fight Darkseid together. So there you go.
Are you talking about in the comics or in the animated?
No, in the comics. Comics.
I could have sworn it was someone else, but it's been a while. I remember reading that like 1,000 years ago. But that's fine. Like, but I think that's too much. That would be like the Avengers fighting Thanos in Avengers 1. Where do you go from there? Oh, now we got to take on Lex Luthor in the second movie? That's not interesting. That sucks. That's why Josh Brolin's performance as Thanos is hard to beat, and now they have to figure out a way to do that, which is like we gotta jump into the multiverse because there's nothing left. You got to make it as crazy as possible because that character was too big. He was their biggest gun. So yeah, no, I think DC needs to just storyboard some shit, man. Just storyboard some shit. Figure out what you're gonna do and just storyboard some shit. You can fix it. But you got to recognize that you're going to be behind. But now is your time to take your time and do it right.
They're all about multiverse now. That's just it. You know, they're all about multiverse.
That's when they gave up. That's DC giving up. That's what that is. It's like, fuck it, who cares? That's not what Marvel is doing. Like people are like, oh well, Marvel's doing multiverse. Yeah, they're like building intelligently to it, not just going, I don't know, this movie worked. It's in the multiverse. Don't fucking worry about it. That's not the same thing. It's dumb.
Don't worry about why we have 5 different Batmen.
Right.
They're all a part of the multiverse.
Look, I'm very interested to see what the Flash is like. I'm very interested to see it. Like, okay. All right, what the fuck brought to you by JTD?
Here's something I'm not interested in seeing. Mosquitoes have formed tornadoes as millions flock together for mating season in this location. The flying insects were seen swarming on the peninsula of this place in the millions. Swarms of mosquitoes were so dense that people reported difficulty seeing where they were driving. Where is this at?
Australia? It feels like an Australia story.
No, this is from the Serbian Times. These are from the Serbian Times Twitter. These are male mosquitoes. God damn it. I hate this fucking thing. These are male mosquitoes swarming around one of several females in order to mate. There's nothing wrong about this phenomenon. There's something wrong with it. It's a bunch. Look at these things.
I don't want to. I really don't want to click on the story.
It's not bad. Like, it's just, they look like swarms of locusts, right? Like,
yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. Thank you.
It looks like a plague, right? Like the worst nightmares of the like cicadas happening. Like, that's what this is. But there are like millions more because these are mosquitoes and they're small.
Nope.
Whereas, like,
burn it all. Burn it.
Yeah. You can just burn that whole country as far as I'm concerned.
No, Russia's not a real country. It's
no desire to go to Russia. You got any desire to go to Russia? You got any desire to go to like Moscow?
I had a desire to go to Moscow at one point, and then I was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I used to date a girl who was taking Russian lessons because she wanted to go to Russia, of all places.
I definitely don't want to go to Russia that bad. Fuck that.
Nah, yo.
When Putin is dead in the ground, I need to see it. Dead in the ground, and their entire government has been replaced by people who are not a bunch of mobsters and thieves, then maybe I will. But I watched enough of those dash cam videos. People in Russia can't drive, so I'm afraid I'm going to die on the road. So no.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's a bunch of dash cam vids. It's because
it's insurance fraud.
There's a bunch of insurance scams that people just jump in front of cars to try and bilk people out of money. That's how unattractive it is to live in Russia.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
You're willing to throw yourself in front. You're willing to die in order to try and get a payout.
Yeah, like no, it's literally a kleptocracy. Like it is. Like it's a mess. I would the only thing like the only thing I want to do in Russia is I want to go. Is it Vladimir Lenin's? Yeah, you can see Vladimir Lenin's like body. Like they keep it in a glass tomb. Like it's fucking weird. I kind of want to see it. Just want to bang on the glass. Are you alive in there?
You want to go to Russia to see a dead body?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of dead bodies in Russia.
Yeah, I feel like you won't have to go far.
Right. You just get out of the airport, right? Yeah. So yeah, I want to see the embalmed body of Vladimir Lenin. But that's it. Like that. Like I could get off the plane, be taken there, see that, and get right back on the plane and fly somewhere way warmer and desirable. I feel like I don't have a desire to go there. I don't have a desire really to go to China. I feel like I'd like to go to Hong Kong, and I know what you're thinking. Hong Kong is a part of China. Yes and no. Yes and no it is. But I may, just because Hong Kong has amazing architecture, but like mainland China, I'm not really a huge fan of pollution as it were. So no. And I don't like traditional Chinese food either.
Yeah, Chinese food is not the food that you get from like Silver Fountain or Golden Dragon.
No, it's not.
It is not that at all.
No, there's a restaurant in DC that some of my friends like to go to as a traditional Chinese restaurant. I was like, this place is disgusting. And look, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just want you to heat your food all the way up because I can't eat food that's gelatinous at like room temperature. It's revolting to me. Just put it in the microwave, yo, and I'll eat it. Heat it up. It drives me nuts. No, it's good. It's good at 50 degrees. No, it isn't. It's not. I don't want it. It's gross.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah. So swarms of mosquitoes in Russia.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
Yanni's not you. 2 arrested for selling animal genitalia over superstitious beliefs. 2 men were arrested on Tuesday for allegedly selling genitals of male monitor lizards and jackals over the last 4 months through social media. You can buy jackal balls apparently on Facebook Marketplace. In collaboration with a few astrologers, to people with superstitious beliefs, the police said, that's who they were selling to. The monitor lizard is a protected species under the Indian Wildlife Protection. Oh, God damn it. India. Fuck. I was trying so hard to avoid it. So yeah, it's in India.
I was about to say Florida. Yeah.
I mean, it could easily be Florida. Are you, do you have any superstitions?
Religious, of course I have superstitions.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't say it, you said it. Yeah. What other superstitions do you have?
I don't know. What are the big ones?
Ghosts? Jesus.
Yeah. Funny enough, I don't believe in ghosts, right? Like I don't think
what
running around like haunting shit. Right? Like I'm the opposite of Terrence. Terrence definitely believes in ghosts, except for the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, he's like, no, that's ridiculous.
Right. That's ridiculous. But Slimer eating a bunch of fucking hot dogs is real.
That's absolutely real. Yeah. Ghostbusters is a documentary for Terrence.
No, I don't believe in ghosts. I think ghosts have better things to do, right? Like I choose to believe in God, but there's a lot of like baggage that is just like, all right, yo, come on.
Yeah, you believe in the like get one piece of tilapia and a piece of farmhouse bread from Pepperidge Farms. You can feed a football stadium full of people.
Like all those people like speaking in tongues. And
yo, no, don't believe that. That's insane.
Like, all right, just shut the fuck up.
That feels when I see that. I am offended for religious people when I see religious people do that. I'm like, yo, they're lying. They're lying.
Right. Like, stop seeking attention, yo. Like, I know you feeling it. You in the moment, right? But like, shut up, yo. Like, it's just
speaking in tongues
like,
is a wild thing, yo. That's
wild. Like people get in the moment in a lot of things and they don't speak in tongues, yo. Like,
I've had amazing sex on drugs, and I've never spoken in tongues.
Right. You imagine right,
like, no, yo. Stop,
on,
yo.
Man.
I also don't think, well, I extend that to like people dancing in church, like the running up the aisles. I'm like,
it's attention seeking.
Like,
it's attention seeking.
Oh, look, he getting the Holy Ghost. No, he's a fucking attention whore is what he is. Right, every week,
you acting like a goddamn soccer hooligan. Like, come on, yo.
Yeah,
get out of here, man.
Like, I get it at your, you know, you're feeling at the pew or whatever it is. You know, you're just like, you going for it, whatever. Look, I listen to music. Sometimes you know, like a DMX lyric comes on. I want to get amped up. I get that. But like, I'm not running down the aisles of a Target. Right. Come on. That's silly. Superstitions.
I'm superstitions. 13 common but silly superstitions.
Is Korean fan death on there? That was a pretty bad one.
Beginner's luck.
I guess I believe in that.
No, I don't believe in that. Find a penny, pick it up all day. You'll have good luck. No, I'm not bending over for anything. Look, I am 41 years old. I am not bending over to get anything less than a goddamn quarter. And it better be a quarter piece, not 2 dimes and a nickel. I'm not.
I thought you were going to say $1.
Nah, I'll get a quarter. Because you can flip a quarter and look like a badass, right? Like, I can flip a quarter.
It sounds like you're willing to bend over for hepatitis is what it sounds like. Get out of here.
Don't walk under a ladder. I don't walk under ladders, but I'm tall, so.
I don't walk under ladders because I don't want a ladder to fall on me. Like, it has nothing to do with a superstition. That's just smart.
Don't let a black cat cross your path. I don't like animals, so, you know.
Nah, I'll kick a cat. That's fine.
Yeah, like cats we have a stray cat walking around here, and every time we walk around to a certain house, like me and my wife, we hold our son we hold his hand just a little bit tighter. We keep our head on it. Well, I keep my head on a swivel. And just to make sure that fucking cat doesn't just roll up. A rabbit's foot will give you good luck.
No.
Nah, yo, I'm not.
No, one lucky for the rabbit. Get out of here. That's stupid.
Right, get out of here. Bad luck comes in threes. Yeah, you know, like death.
Death comes in threes.
Yeah, like I believe in death comes in threes. Sure. Don't break.
I think it's more about how it's reported, but that's fine.
Right. I mean, right.
Sure.
Don't break a mirror. I mean, I don't want to break a mirror, not because of bad luck, but I don't want to clean it up.
Yeah, that's more laziness of anything.
666 is the mark of the beast.
No, I believe that because I believe in the devil. The devil. A little red guy with a pitchfork. Yeah, for all his hay work down there. Yeah, that's in poking bad guys in the tuchus. Right, I believe in that.
Knocking on wood, I do that. I knock on wood. It's just I don't even. It's Pavlovian at this point.
Yeah, I don't do that. That seems silly to me.
Like,
I joke. Oh, knock on wood, but like it's not real.
Yeah, like
I'm doing that sarcastically. TS, that means that I don't actually believe it. It's a joke. I just thought I'd explain that.
Crossing your fingers for good luck, that's stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No umbrellas inside. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, no, that's like a bad luck thing. Yeah, I don't do that.
Friday the 13th is not an unlucky holiday. Don't be scared about the number 13, guys. Like that's
whoa. What's your name on
Yeah, Triskaideka. That's right. Not Triskaidekaphobia.
Yeah, then you have it. No, you promote triskaidekaphobia. Like you're the chaos magic that it emanates from. That's you.
Like Asian people have like a fear of the number 4 because like the word for death and 4 are very similar. So like you go to like certain hotels and stuff, they'll skip the 4th floor. Guess what, guys? The 5th floor is still the 4th.
No, not if we didn't make the sign. Yo, phobias are dumb. All of them are dumb. It doesn't mean you're not validly scared, but they're all dumb.
Look, I have a phobia of dogs, right? It's the dumbest thing in the world, but for me, I have it. Right?
I have a phobia of stationary heights.
Stationary heights.
Like I don't like
a building.
No, that would be ridiculous. No, I mean no. No, like sort of exposed stationary heights. Like I don't mind roller coasters. That's fine, right? Like when you get to the peak or whatever, you go down. Like that doesn't bother me. I don't like Ferris wheels. Like getting trapped at the top is terrifying for me. Like I'm like, yo, we're here too long. I don't like stationary heights like that.
You've been joking about big wheel all these years. That's why.
Yeah. I'm trying to laugh it off. Like my true demented fear. I don't like that. Like it's not cool. Like, hey, we're on a Ferris wheel. Like, you ever been on a Ferris wheel and been at the top with your douchebag friends like, shake the boat, bro? No, yo. I will fight you in this thing. I swear to God.
I've been to the one in DC, I've been to the one in London, and I've been to one in Paris, and they're all groovy, right? I like them all. The one in Paris was the most janky, but
the Paris Eye or the London Eye?
Yeah, the London Eye was great.
Yeah, we got on the London Eye. I like 90% of it. I liked it. I was like, all right, we got to keep it moving. Keep it moving. We don't need to see, we could be at the top. No, me and my wife did hot air balloon ride. And her ass is leaning out of the basket. I'm in the center of the basket. She's leaning out with her $500 iPhone. I'm like, yo, you are a klutz. Like, you better hold on to that. She's like, you want to see? Here, you can see. I'm like, I'm good. I can see all around me. I don't need to lean over. Like, no, bothers me. But if it was moving at 70 miles an hour, like across the sky, I'd be fine. Like, let's just keep it moving. Just keep it moving.
Yeah. Instead of falling out, you get flung out.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. I just don't want to. I don't want to fall out. That's the wind can blow me out. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have any. I
don't think
like of the silly phobias. Right?
So there's one called Korean fan death. That like there's a phobia that I think it's more like older Koreans believe. Like you can look it up on Wikipedia that you shouldn't older Koreans believe like you shouldn't leave a fan on in the room because you'll die. Yeah.
Of what? Catching a cold?
Like somehow it blowing on you will kill you. Like, yo, wow. It has its own Wikipedia entry. Like it's really fucking weird.
Okay. Never stick your chopstick straight up. I mean, that's just rude. Right? Like, give a penny if you've received something sharp. Yo, some of these things are, don't go home right after a funeral. Whistling indoors invites evil. Yo, some of these superstitions.
They saw the first Kill Bill and they got creeped out by that song. Twisted Nerve.
You're not supposed to cheers with water. A German superstition declares that if you cheers with water, you're actually wishing death on the people you
they just drunks, yo. They just want to drink beer all the time. Like, knock it off.
Well, that's all I do is cheers with water, and you people are still alive. So, all right. I guess we could talk about trailers while I go through the rest of these superstitions.
All right. Trailers this week. 9 Perfect Strangers. This is a new Nicole Kidman series headed to Hulu. This is by the same author who did Big Little Lies, Lane Moriarty, or Lion Moriarty, and it does reunite Kidman with David E. Kelly, who I guess is the director of this. It's about a woman who runs sort of she runs like a wellness retreat camp kind of thing. And she brings these 9 people, who are all suffering in different ways, to, sort of be made whole, made to be healthy. And there's some like weird shenanigans going on. The cast includes, and this is a pretty good cast, Melissa McCarthy, Michael Shannon, Luke Evans, Bobby Cavanaugh, Regina Hall, Samara Weaving, Melvin Gregg, Asher Kitty, Grace Van Patten, Tiffany Boone, and Manny Gisano. It looks interesting. Like, you should check out the trailer. And then we linked a story about this. But if you like Big Little Lies, look, Nicole Kidman's been on a little bit of a tear. like she has been. I find her to be a very weird person, but I've liked her in the last couple of things: Big Little Lies, The Undoing, that sort of stuff. I think she's been good.
This looks very interesting, and I'll have to show it to my wife because that's the only time I get to watch television. But it looks very good, and I like creepy cult leader Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, this works for me.
This looks entertaining.
So the first 3 episodes of 9 Perfect Strangers will be available on Hulu August 18th, with weekly releases to follow after that. So Hulu's trying to build some word of mouth, clearly. So that's good. I want some original Hulu stuff to really catch on, because they've got a lot of things on there, but they're not that great. They're original series or original movies. Most of them are not very good. So it'd be good if they got themselves a hit. That'd be cool. Next up, there's a new series coming to FX on Hulu. So you will also be able to watch this on Hulu, called Reservation Dogs. Again, much like Let Him Go, a very, like a perspective you don't see very often. This one is about a bunch of kids, sort of just like goofing off and like doing shit they shouldn't be, like stealing a food truck. But the perspective is they're on a reservation. They're native kids.
They're all indigenous people.
Yeah, that's dope, man. This is just not a perspective you see very often. And I'm immediately intrigued by this. Because again, it is like these kids could be any kids, but they're specifically kids on a reservation. Yeah.
It looks interesting. And you don't even think about it until like you realize it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wait, wow, these people Indian, right? Like, and it looks funny. It's from Taika Waititi, right?
Yep.
Like, I dig his sense of humor, man. I really do. So I'll check it out.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a co-creator of it, and he's an executive producer of it. So it's a half-hour comedy that follows the exploits of 4 indigenous teenagers in rural Oklahoma who steal, rob, and save in order to get their exotic, mysterious, and faraway land, to get to the mysterious faraway land of California. Yeah. Okay. I'm really in for that. That looks really fun and just different. Next up, John Boyega stars in a new movie called The Naked Singularity, which seems to be just a heist movie, like a really interesting heist movie.
Stars John Boyega as a promising young New York City public defender whose idealism is beginning to crack under the daily injustices of the very justice system he's trying to make right. Doubting all he has worked for and seeing signs of the universe collapsing around him, he is pulled into a dangerous high-stakes drug heist by an unpredictable former client in an effort to beat the broken system at its own game, based on a novel.
Yeah. Dick Wolf is one of the people working on this, which is interesting.
So I expect to see Christopher Maloney somewhere in this thing.
I mean, it's definitely got plenty of cops in it at some point, and criminals. It's kind of nice to see Olivia Cooke and Bill Skarsgård in this, and Ed Skrein. So yeah. All right. This looks really fun. Actually, I think this looks really good. I'm happy to see that John Boyega's career is not slowing down after being very open and honest about his treatment in Hollywood. So directors are like, this guy is still legit. So we're not going to push him out, which is great. Because that could have very easily happened.
Yep.
So, and I like John Boyega a lot. Looks like probably the last trailer for Dune. This is like a 3.5 minute trailer. I think this looks fantastic. I know you weren't really caring too much about Dune. when the first
This trailer made me change my mind.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little more going on. Like, I don't mind a slow burn. I like the Denis Villeneuve movies that I have seen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to Dune now after seeing this trailer.
Yeah.
Before I didn't really care. Like, I could take it or leave it.
Right.
Now I'm going to actually watch it. Like, I'm going to make it a point to watch it. So,
I mean, it looks beautiful.
Good,
it looks beautiful. Like, if nothing else, it looks, I mean, visuals, it looks quite impressive.
Oh, part 1. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like,
and I don't know too much about it, and I'm trying not to read too much about it because you know, this isn't my type of sci-fi.
Right.
My sci-fi is the, you know, a little more glossy, a little more spacefaring. That's the type of sci-fi that I like.
Right.
But you know, this seems a little more apocalyptic, and I generally don't find that interesting to me.
Sure.
It's not interesting, but yeah, look, I'm won over by the cast. I'm won over by the director. I'm won over by this trailer. So I'll check it out.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I think it looks very good. I need to sit and rewatch Frank Herbert's Dune at some point. I think it's on HBO Max, and it's.
I'm not going to do that.
No, I don't recommend that you do. But I'm going to because I want to be able to have a direct comparison. Not that I'm going to compare it when I like review it, but I want to just see what the difference in just what both directors came up with to interpret the information, because there's a lot. Next up, The Last Duel. Pretty heavy trailer week. This is a really fucking interesting trailer for a very interesting premise. I am weirded out that certain actors are in this movie. Like, I really am.
I was like, is that
Matt Damon? Well, my thing was like, is that Ben Affleck? What the fuck is he?
I don't know where Ben Affleck is in that movie, in that trailer. Like, I watched it, and then I looked and saw who all the people were, and I'm like, where is Ben Affleck? And then sticking out like the sorest of thumbs is Adam Driver.
Yeah, no, at 46 seconds, that's Ben Affleck.
46 seconds.
He's got blonde hair.
Ben Affleck.
It's fucking weird. It's really weird. I assume this character has a...
Whoa, that doesn't look right at all.
Yo, him with blonde hair and a blonde beard is off-putting to me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Like, it took me a minute to accept that was Matt Damon.
It's weird. It's very weird. But it's about a woman who charges that this is Jodie Comer, charges that Adam Driver basically raped her, is the implication. And it's sort of like medieval times. And he broke into her house, attacked her, and I assume raped her, is the implication. And her husband, Matt Damon, is forced to defend her honor and basically fight Adam Driver to the death. And it's interesting because it's like, is she telling the truth? You know, but it doesn't really matter if she's telling the truth, because in these times, if you are caught, or if you're proven to be lying, proven in quotes, you'll be burned at the stake anyway. So it's the idea of like women being sort of stuck in this middle of like, please believe me, but like there's one point where a character says the truth doesn't matter, only the power of men matters, right? Like, and that's true. Sometimes that's still true today. A lot of times it is. So it looks really good. I think there's going to be some serious acting going on in this movie.
Yeah, man. Fucking Villanelle is in it. Ben Solo is in it. Fucking Batman is in it. And that dude from The Martian is in it.
No, he's
that directed Alien is in it.
No, he's the dude. He's the Trump supporter in that other movie, like
Still America, damn it.
You know, did you see the quote from Matt Damon about that? Because I guess that character is a Trump supporter, and he was like, Yeah, I was doing research into Trump supporters for the role, and he was like, that was eye-opening. It's like, yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, surprise. They're crazy.
I wonder how that guy feels knowing that Matt Damon is portraying him.
Stillwater. Like, he's like, God damn it.
Is he mad? Because, like, Matt Damon isn't like.
Is that a true story? I don't even know if it is.
Oh, maybe it's not.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not. Actually, you know what? If that guy's mad, I hope it is true. Hollywood liberal playing me. Next up, for some reason, Micah refuses to watch the trailer for this tremendous upcoming film.
What? Yo, for what? For what?
Jackass Forever. Yeah, that's fine. This looks really dumb. It's got a couple of people in it that you'd expect, all the Jackass guys, but then like Eric Andre is in this. These guys are 50 years old doing this.
Look, I understand that you like what you like, and there's no like age limit for the things that you like and the things that you like to do, but like at some point, when does it get like pathetic?
I think it's been pathetic for a while. Oh man, they got like a professional female softball player to pitch a ball into their balls. Jesus Christ. I think it's been pathetic for quite some time. That being said, I have a hard time not watching these guys hurt themselves. Like, I really enjoy it. I'm not seeing this in theaters. I did see the first one in theaters, and I laughed myself almost sick. The first one was great. I can't believe that more of these guys haven't died, to be honest. Because Ryan Dunn died. I think in a car crash or something like that, or it was like one of their fucking crazier pranks. I can't remember. It's been a number of years, but I'm surprised these guys aren't dead. I'm truly shocked that they're not dead, but that's fine. I will watch this when it comes to streaming. I'm not watching it anywhere else.
I mean, I'm looking at it now. This is doing nothing for me, man. I respect that these guys have made a career doing what I guess they love. They're more famous than I'll ever be, but
yeah.
But nah, yo, I just and look, they look like they're having a good time, and they're only hurting themselves, I guess. But I was gonna say, well, they ain't hurting nobody, but like that's not true.
No, they're getting fucked up in this shit. Like they get hurt a lot.
But I can't. I cannot sanction this buffoonery.
Look, I get it. But I'm 100% going to watch this when it comes to streaming, but not a second before that. No way. And I don't even know what would the review be. Yeah, they get hurt a lot. Watch it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, you know what it is, right? It's Jackass.
I noticed Bam Margera is not in the trailer, which is interesting.
Apparently, Bam Margera is an asshole in real life.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
Or he has like some sort of like some serious problems.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He started looking like his uncle that he used to make fun of on the show. Like he legitimately looks like him now.
Nah.
Yeah, so apparently he's like a crazy person. Why isn't Bam Margera in Jackass Forever? Yeah, okay. I guess I'll read that article later because I hate myself. Last but not least, Vacation Friends. This is starring Lil Rel Howery and John Cena. It's a weird combination of people. But apparently a black couple met this crazy white couple while they were on vacation, and the white couple was like, "Oh, y'all getting married? Cool. We're gonna crash this engagement party." and we're gonna have a good old time. And apparently, John Cena and what's her face? I can't remember. I don't remember the woman's name. They're just absolute nuts, and they do cocaine and like they drug the black couple unbeknownst to them, and they're just like they're just nuts. And it's just John Cena throwing his full weight behind just a raunchy comedy. I'm okay with that. I will see this movie.
Yeah, I love so John Cena's back in the WWE.
I saw that. I saw his return.
And
I didn't see it.
Didn't.
But, thank you.
Because that joke isn't fucking old.
Yeah, very.
I'm so fucking sick and tired of it. Like, all right. Anyway, I love the juxtaposition of seeing Superman John Cena on Mondays or Fridays, and then seeing this and hearing him scream F-bombs and doing coke and shit like that. It's hilarious to me. There's only so many times that this trick is going to work on me.
Yeah.
But for now, it's working. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not, rushing out to a theater to see this. This is the only thing that I'm going to miss from this era is a movie like this is prime for being on some sort of streaming service.
It is on streaming.
It is?
Yeah, Hulu, August 27th.
Perfect.
Yeah, oh no.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, this does not need to be in theaters for me. Like,
yeah, this don't need to be in theaters, yo. I don't need the Dolby THX digital surround sound to hear John Cena scream the F word.
No, this is a perfect, hey, I heard this movie looks really dumb and fun, Friday night movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is perfect. So, yeah, Hulu, August 27th. Like, this is the best part of the streaming era, is you go, damn, that looks really good. Oh, shit, it's streaming? Oh, great. I'll see it.
Yeah,
Where instead of waiting
really
3 months.
Like, oh, this is kind of dumb, but, like, I would watch this if I didn't have to pay for it. And now I don't have to pay for it.
This is a win-win for me. Yeah, absolutely. When this pops up on Google TV, it's like, hey, there's a new thing on. I'm like, great. Hit play. Perfect. Add it to the queue. Yeah, I think this is I think this is perfect. It looks really funny and just silly. Just like really, really silly. But I like the idea of John Cena doing stuff like this.
Yeah, and like John Cena is still a big dude, but he's not fucking gargantuan.
Yep, that's why he is staying, like, he is working, man. He is getting a lot of roles. Not just action hero roles. And it's weird because, like, the action hero role he's getting is also comedy based. So it's kind of funny. I wonder if he'll kind of end up really solidly being a comedic actor. Like, that would actually, and probably doing a turn as a serious actor, like, somewhere down the road in, like, one film, and everyone's like, that was so impressive.
Yeah.
But he seems to be kind of sticking here for now, which is dope.
Yeah, man. That's fine with me.
Absolutely.
Be in your dumb raunchy comedy, Joe.
Yeah. Hey.
So.
All right. Any other words to the wise before we get out of here?
Yeah. So I was recently on Truth Lies Shenanigans, a live streaming podcast this past weekend. And we talked with Neo and Liz and Rob B, who we're going to schedule him on the show. He was on before. Yeah. Our friend from Canada. And we're going to schedule him to be back on sometime in August. And I was on the latest episode, and we talked about Space Jam, and we talked about manatees, and we talked about that woman in Victoria's Secret who attacked a black woman, and then the second the black woman pulled out the camera,
that video,
he was like, "Oh, don't do this." So, but it was fun. It was fun. You can find it on TLSshow.com.
All right. All right. We will see you guys next week or actually maybe not next week because I'll be out of town. So maybe Micah can do the episode on his own, and then that guy can come on and just suck your dick for 2 hours. That would be awesome. So I know he would be really into it. All right. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you.